12 months ago, I stood up here and talked about how to maximise the MBT programme and market yourselves to employers in a very talent-short market. Things have changed quite considerably in that time. But it's perhaps more important now in an aggressive, competitive market that you maximise the qualification that you have before you're about to receive and market yourself to those potential employers. My colleague Tim Davis is in the audience here, who will facilitate any questions towards the end, should I not be able to answer them or they're too difficult. But what I'd like to do is just give you an overview of the market as we see it from a Hudson perspective and what you can do to give yourself the edge over the competition. The demand for skilled professionals has undoubtedly declined from the highs of a year or so ago. The last time the ICT employment market was so dramatically affected was just after Y2K, when many companies shed lots of staff. There was a real slash and burn mentality back then, and many companies went too far, they cut too deep, and when they needed to rehire these skilled staff, they found it pretty difficult. It was easy to let them go, but it wasn't so easy to get them back. This time around, we're seeing that managers are a lot more sensitive. They seem to have learned from their mistakes previous. And they're focused on retaining those much more highly skilled people than they were previously. They're also focused on acquiring these people as well. So when it comes to new hires, companies are looking for individuals who can add some real commercial value and real commercial clout to their job. Probably 12 months ago, individuals who were 70, 80% fit, right, were being hired. Now, not only do you need to tick all the boxes and some more, but you really need to prove from day one what commercial value you can bring and what value you can add to that organisation. And we appreciate that it's very hard to do that and convey that through a resume and a degree or a qualification. Having an MBT will absolutely assist you in the market. You've chosen to do this programme, and you've completed it, or you will complete it. And that says a lot about you as an individual. Secondly, the learnings and the skills that you've received from the programme can be directly translated into benefits for potential employers. However, regardless if you're currently employed or you're unemployed seeking work, the qualification itself won't make a difference unless you sell yourself and the benefits that you can bring from that qualification to your potential employer. So, to get the competitive edge, we feel it's really important that, first of all, you do your research. So you need to know and identify what you want. So that's company, location, the role itself, salary, training, career, etc., etc., etc. And be prepared to back up your reasoning with some solid answers. There's numerous channels to do research, the web, press, industry. Tonight, networking events to ask questions. And if you do this, your passion and sound reasoning will absolutely show through. You'll be very convincing when you're interviewing with either recruiters or with direct employers. Secondly, I think it's important to build rapport. People deal with people. It's an old adage, but it's true. And face-to-face time, and again, occasions like tonight are really important to build those networks and build that rapport with individuals. We feel it's pretty important to be transparent as well. You've got to be honest about what you want, and also what your thoughts are throughout the whole process. There's nothing wrong in saying, well, actually, I went for a role and it wasn't quite right because of this reason. It's just important to have that honesty and the transparency. And also remain flexible. The main things when you're looking for a role are probably the salary, the job itself, the title, the location. But look at the short, medium and the long term. Don't undersell yourself, but really ask what's important for you and your career at that time and what's important a year down the track. With resume building, this is a question I get asked a lot and can certainly elaborate on probably over a drink later on, but there's no right or wrong way to write a CV, but a good basis is to make sure that you have it really clear and concise and tailor your resume where and when appropriate. So almost have a few different resumes for different roles. It's a different slant to one role to another. It's really advisable to put a bit of work into that, but again, keep it clear, concise, and to the point, and bring out those benefits for that role that you have in your career or through your qualifications. And finally, and most importantly, sell yourself. Positive affirmations, any accolades, career progression that you've received in your career to date, the qualification that you've received or you have received, what components are relevant. LinkedIn, it's a fantastic tool, recommendations on there, it's free. People look at those things. Don't assume your prospective employer or interviewer understands how good you are. It's up to you to tell them how good you are. And again, Tim and I will be able to discuss this in a bit more detail later. In summary, it appears that certainly within ICT and the technical market that we're through the worst. Most organisations have gone through the retrenchment phase, and thankfully they're now looking at upskilling and training staff. However, though, there's a real expectation that when the market semi-stabilises, there will be lots and lots of movement with employees. A recent study that Hudson commissioned, a white paper that was released last week, and again, if anyone wants access to it, please speak to Tim himself. But over 50% of current employees, so these are the people that are left after all the bad news and retrenchments, 50% are pretty much active for a new job. So when the market stabilises, there'll be turn, there'll be lots of movement. So in summary, the MBT you've completed or completing will certainly be a benefit to you. It's one step on a journey though to further your career, but ultimately it's down to yourself as individuals to sell the benefits of it and sell you as an individual. Thank you for listening, and if there are questions after Michelle and Matthew have spoken, I'll be more than happy to answer them, and my colleague Tim for a second. So thank you.